All right, well, hello everyone. Welcome into the stream here. Let's get all those there. So, welcome into the stream right now. We are streaming live here with the severe weather threat. The tornadoes are expected to be here pretty soon here with the major tornado outbreak that we possibly could be seeing here. So, let me get everything set up here so I can have everything all set up here. And if you have any questions and anything down that you have anything, if you live in the severe weather outbreak or anything, if you have any questions, make sure to leave it down in the chat below. I would be glad to answer any questions that anyone has. So right now we're going to pay attention here to what are we expecting here for the next few hours. It seems like we have a lot kind of getting ready to get prepared here. So let's kind of take a look here. Right now. So we have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings right now in total here, or at least for this main area for the tornado watch currently here. So a lot of these severe thunderstorm warnings has expired possibly here, but we're gonna go into some of these severe thunderstorm warnings. We're just gonna hop into it here, and then we'll talk about more of the tornado watch and everything like that. So here's a severe thunderstorm warning. Let's actually get to the main radar here. All right, let's see. So this one is for Weld, Colorado and Larimer, Colorado. Seeing the severe thunderstorm right now, the reason, once again, reached the criteria of 60-mile-an-hour winds here with that ping pong ball sized hail. So we are expecting to see the possibility for some pretty big hail. Gusty winds are going to be a big thing, as well as possibly some tornadoes still. No tornado is possible on that specific storm right there. This one right here on Cheyenne, you can see it has a $half sized hail with 60-mile-an-hour winds. We're going to keep an eye out, obviously, on that hail, because that could be something to be paying attention to. All these storms kind of moving very slowly off to the northeast here, not moving very quickly, but something to pay attention to. And then if we head down to this severe thunderstorm warning, which I believe is, Morgan, Colorado here. This one I think is getting ready to expires in 14 minutes. The radar here, majority of that storm is off to the north here, so that's at least good. That's more moving off to the northeast and continuing on with that northeastward motion. So nothing too major currently going on for that. The tornado watch has been updated here for the one that is in Oklahoma. Let's see. So the one in Oklahoma has updated right now. So this does include western Oklahoma here. That it does also go into parts of northern Texas. So what it does seem like is that earlier, you guys, if you lived in northern or western Oklahoma, you already got an alert on your phone saying there was a tornado watch. The reason why now we're starting to see this blink, because we see it now has been brought back into northern Texas here. They have extended the tornado watch right now. The tornado watch has been extended now into parts of Texas here. And we're going to see some of these storms really start to, oh, look at that. And it's going even deeper into Texas as we're getting it. So the National Weather Service is predicting the possibility for some pretty big storms to kind of form already down here. And we're starting to see that here, right here. And you kind of can see some of those storms just kind of popping up there, just west of Fort Worth. So Fort Worth, I would definitely be keeping an eye on this, as western Fort Worth is under a tornado watch here for the next 5.5 hours. So this is going to be a long duration here for the severe weather threat. We're going to be seeing a lot happen here. But as of right now, we haven't seen a lot of tornado warnings at all throughout today, which is some pretty good news, but that is expected to possibly change here in the next couple of hours. So if you have any questions, just leave it down in the chat below. Also, I want to bring up something really quickly here. This tornado watch is stretching, plenty of miles here that we can obviously see. The biggest thing that I want to talk about, obviously, is majority of these storms that are starting to kind of form and pop up here are more on the northern part of this and the central part here of the tornado watch zone. We're seeing this right here, and then possibly some storms already starting to form in this area right here. Except for this big thunderstorms that are trying to form right down here in Texas. This could be something to pay attention to here in the next couple of hours, as well as that definitely will be possibly getting closer to Fort Worth here. But let's kind of see what the future radar is saying and what are we expecting here for the next couple of hours. Let's just see what we're going to be dealing with here. So here for the next couple of hours. So 6 p.m. we can obviously see right here, very large thunderstorms going to be going through the northern part of this tornado watch. So heading into Nebraska, these storms will push off to the east here. We'll see that kind of change, and the storms will really start to ramp up here, especially when it comes into Kansas area. In southern Nebraska, we're going to be starting to see these storms, and especially when you see these little blue and white areas here on the future radar, very, very large and destructive storms could be there. And then, you obviously see down here, there's like what I said, very large thunderstorms going to be continuing on down here as well into Texas, and that is the reason why they extended the advisory, or they extended the tornado watch down into Texas. So that's something we're going to be paying attention to over here for the next couple of hours, the storms that are going to be continuing to ramp up here, and we're going to continue to see the potential for something pretty concerning to form here. So a couple storms we've already seen, multiple tornadoes touch down. I mean, we did see a tornado touch down earlier today, actually in just east of Denver, I believe. Here, let me see if I can pull that up really quickly here, because that was an interesting, that was a pretty big tornado that we did see. And make sure to follow my X page down. I'll be putting it down in the description here pretty soon. I repost some stuff and all of that, and some pretty cool things that we can, you guys can find information. So let's see here. So let's take a look. So right now, so this is my X page. We can obviously see right here that here's a video right here of the tornado that was near National Weather Service Boulder caught it. There's that tornado that was crossing the interstate here that it looks like, I would hope, these people starting to pull over, realizing it, that's for sure, letting the tornado pass, and that will continue to move off, continued moving to the east here, but pretty big tornado too. And definitely had you can definitely see that it was on the ground kicking up a lot of dust. And here's a little bit of another picture of it here from Interstate 70. This is the picture from it that we see. You can obviously see very, very kind of thin tornado here, but then goes all the way down, but you can see kind of like a dust tornado, it kind of looks like. So that's something that we've been watching there very closely, and that has been in Colorado. And right now we do have a brand new tornado warning that has now just been issued here. So a brand new tornado warning has now just been issued right now. So we're going to see what we can do. Let me see if I can get this kind of slowing down just a little bit here. Let's see what I can do. All right, so yeah, we are right now have this brand new tornado warning that has now just been issued. So let's head over to that. This is for Morgan, Colorado, Weld, Colorado. Very, very short tornado warning here. Let's see if I can get back to the regular radar. So 8 minutes the storm will be expiring here. Velocity signature not showing anything too significant. It's kind of harder to tell here. Go to this radar and see if that pulls up anything different. Yeah, so this one, I'm not seeing any, pretty big rotation or anything like that, so that's some pretty good news there. But obviously, I would want to continue to pay attention to the possibility here for something pretty, strong storm still continuing off to the north here. And that's a new tornado warning that was issued, but obviously not too much to deal with that. But right now, I will say we have some severe thunderstorm warnings starting to just ramp up right now here. And let's get into these. We have severe thunderstorm warnings starting to ramp up. And let's see what we can do here. So down in Texas here. So let's go down here into the Texas severe thunderstorm warnings and see what we can look at right now. So this one, Albine, you guys are in the severe thunderstorm warning as well for 60 miles an hour for the winds. Nothing too severe, it seems like, so nothing, no hail or anything right now is on that, on the tag of the severe thunderstorm warning. This will continue moving off to the northeast. And then we're seeing this storm over here to the northeast that probably has maybe a little bit more of stronger hail, that possibly, maybe some hail that could be in there. And then you go down to the south here, and we see the possibility for another big storm that is trying to form. So once again, these are the severe thunderstorms that are right now currently just randomly starting up here in Texas. And then we have, some of these storms kind of just continuing on right now. Really, our main area would be the northern part here of this tornado watch. let's see if I can get into this tornado possible here. So tornado possible in this region right here. So let's see if we can take a look at the velocity signature. We need a little bit of a better radar look here. So tornado is possible in this severe thunderstorm warning here. If I was to mark it, maybe something could possibly form right in there. That's probably why we see the tornado possible tag on that. Nothing is, there's no tornado, but 70-mile-an-hour winds coming with that storm, and some, maybe a little bit of hail too. Maybe a little bit of hail with that. Right now, Boulder, Denver, you guys are under a tornado, or not a tornado, a severe thunderstorm warning. You guys were under, I believe, a tornado warning earlier today. So we're really starting to see these warnings starting to just pop up. Now we're getting a new update from this severe thunderstorm warning over here. This is the Boulder one you can see right here. Let's see here. So yeah, this storm moving off to the east, completely keeping off to the east here, and that will move on to the northeast, and it will start heading into that tornado watch zone, just like what it is, and then it will head more into that favorability to have that possibility for some formation to happen and occur in some of these areas as well. This severe thunderstorm warning right here, this storm has gotten a little bit of a upgraded here. Severe thunderstorm warning. Tornado is possible in this severe thunderstorm warning as well. Let's take a look at the velocity signature for this one. Right here, we could be paying attention here to a possibility of a tornado warning forming. Here, we're going to keep an eye on this. It will be pushing up to the north here. So possibly a tornado that could possibly form out of that one, as there is a pretty good spinature on that specific severe thunderstorm warning. So we're going to keep an eye out on that storm closely here. Let me see what I can do here, if we can pull up someone that is if there's any storm chasers out there. Let's see. So get those pulled up here in a second, as we have a new severe thunderstorm warning that we want to get to right now. Let's get to this brand new severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued here, with the possibility for 70 miles an hour. Whoopsies, not that one. This one, very large. Wow, damage threat is considerable right now. 60-mile-an-hour winds. The considerable threat is due to this large storm that is continuing on by Burlington. This storm will be moving off to the northeast here, and we will currently see this storm really starting to ramp up right now. It is a very destructive severe thunderstorm right now as it's continuing to move up. So Burlington, please be inside and taking shelter right now, as it's kind of right over you, and eventually this will be making its way off to the northeast here, maybe the northeast, as the storm will continue to move off. So we could definitely be seeing a possibility for some large hail off of that storm, and that's something we want to keep an eye out on very closely with that. Now, right now, let's actually go to this one. This is a very dangerous storm right now here in Arkansas. Very dangerous storm that we're currently looking at. I'm trying to click on the radar here. Oh, never mind. I guess it's not. I think Radar Omega is freaking out a little bit. But taking a look at this storm anyways in Arkansas, 70-mile-an-hour winds here. We can currently see there's probably some hail embedded in that. And actually, the coolest thing about this is we actually can go to your something on the radar that's called hydrometeor classification. And you see right here that yellow zone right there, that is all large and big hail that the radar is picking up on. The red is just regular hail. So kind of the smaller end, but yellow is some big hail that you really want to pay attention to. Not like this yellow, that's a severe thunderstorm warning, but the little yellow areas, and that really all matches up into those big pink areas. So that's kind of what we're going to be looking at here for the next couple of hours. Is the biggest, large hail will be a big factor in some of these storms here. So we do still have that tornado warning just for the next 2 minutes here. It's going to be expiring pretty soon, and then we're not going to be seeing too much with that storm continuing on, but we have a lot already continuing on. So we are waiting to see if we have any new tornado warnings coming in here pretty soon. I'm not seeing any new tornado warnings or anything like that yet. but definitely expected to change probably here in the next couple of hours. That is for sure. See if there's any. So right now, we are paying attention obviously here still to this, major storms that are going to be continuing on right now. Let's head on over here because there is Freddie McKinney right now is doing a live coverage right now. I want to pull him up, so make sure to go check him out on his channel here as he's live right now. So let me see if I can pull this up right now and show kind of what we're looking at right now and what he's doing exactly here. What is he doing? So right now it looks like he is continuing to move. So he's looking north right now. The Goodland, Kansas here. You kind of can see some of those large storms that are really kind of trying to get their act together here. No major storms. And then he looks in front of him. You can kind of see some of those clouds really starting to get even darker and darker here as those storms are getting ready to form here. It definitely does not, I do not know about the wind in this specific area, but we will be definitely keeping an eye on it just in case. Now, the biggest thing in the question is, so he's actually, so he does say he's in a severe thunderstorm warning right now, and I believe he is in the one that is, so I believe it's this one. Maybe not. He might be one of these here, but it's in a back area, so it's not as, populated, which is great news there. It's not as populated, but still we're going to be paying attention to this severe weather threat. Whereas we're having new severe thunderstorm warnings right now coming up here. The biggest the severe thunderstorm warnings that we're having, maybe this one, and then also over here, those are kind of our biggest severe thunderstorm warnings that we're kind of seeing a lot more of right now. And that's kind of something that we're continuing to see. And it does seem like we have a brand new flash flood warning here, which is radar indicated here, but it's a considerable threat that just went through Albine, Texas. So that is something to be paying attention to very, very closely here, is the flash flooding threat, as, heavy amounts of rainfall will be dumping with some of these storms. So waiting to see if there's any new tornado warnings here. It seems like it's going to be kind of a slow time for some of these storms here. But probably here in the next hour, we're going to really start to see more continue. Trying to get some of the weather alerts posted here. I'm only one person, so it's kind of hard to do sometimes. But let's get back to some of these warnings here. Let's try to see if we can get some of these severe thunderstorm warnings kind of under control and see if we can get a little bit more information on some of them here. So let's kind of pay attention. So right now we have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings that are over here in this region. This is continuing. Let's see, is there... Okay, so those don't pop up with the radar things. Okay, none of these do now? Man, sometimes Radar Omega is an interesting... Oh, it's because I'm in the wrong thing. There we go. Alright, all fixed now. Okay, so let's head back over here to this one that's tornado is possible. Let's see what we're looking at here with the rotation. We know that the last time we looked at it, there was a little bit of tight rotation. And it seems like, yeah, so in this severe thunderstorm warning right here to the east, and this severe thunderstorm warning over here to its west, the other two do not have a tornado possible, but you kind of can see on where we could possibly be seeing that. So you can currently see with this one, not too much, maybe something right in here you could possibly see right there, but then you have the possibility here for a possible tornado right in this storm right here off to the east. That's, you know, some rotation to pay attention to just in case as the storm continues to move off of, and it's going to be in the area that has, you know, favorability for tornadoes. So, and then we have this severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued not too long ago here. 70-mile-an-hour winds, 1.5 inches, that is ping pong ball sized hail. That will be continuing to move off to the north here, not moving very quickly here, but no tornado is possible on that specific storm. But this one down here, that will probably change that severe thunderstorm warning to a possibility and adding that tornado possible tag. Now, if you see a severe thunderstorm warning and you're under a severe thunderstorm warning and you have that, you know, possible tornado tag on you, you want to make sure that you're keeping an eye out, obviously, on that storm, because, you know, there could be a possible rotation already going on. There could be possible anything kind of happening at that time. So probably keep an eye on any of that, because we, you know, once again, it says tornado possible. You want to make sure that you could be ready for any possible tornado that does touch down. It could be heading towards your area. So a lot to be paying attention to there. Let's take a look right now here back at the future radar. I know a lot of people like doing that, so we can kind of give an idea for later. So here when it comes up, so around 6 p.m. Eastern time, which is 4 Central time. Some storms starting to obviously blow up here on the northern part here of the tornado watch, and then we'll really start to see some over here in Oklahoma and Kansas. We're going to see some of those storms really start to ramp up in that area, and then really possibly some still continuing on down here. So that's about in the next 10 minutes we're going to be seeing that. Heading into the next 2 hours, we're really going to start seeing those storms kind of emerge into central Kansas. I wouldn't be surprised if another tornado watch kind of gets issued for more of central Kansas, more of eastern Oklahoma. But you can currently see that we have, some storms that will really start to ramp up here at around 7 o'clock Central Time. We're really going to start seeing these storms really start to fire up here, and even down here in Texas. And if you just tuned in, they actually extended this tornado watch into Texas not too long ago due to some of these storms just randomly firing up there. Then we continue on throughout the rest of the night. We're going to see some of these storms obviously just continue to move off to the east. Wichita, you guys will be getting hammered later tonight. Same with this one little storm that's going on in Arkansas. And then heavy rain could be going through South Dakota and northern Nebraska as well. And we'll see that continuing on over here for the next, couple days. We're going to be seeing a more severe weather outbreak as well. Probably not as bad as yesterday or the day before, but we're definitely going to be seeing something, especially as we go on throughout the week as well. So let's see about this one. So in Colorado, we have this severe thunderstorm warning that we're continuing to pay attention to with the tornado possible tag on this specific storm here. And we did see a little bit of tight rotation right here in this area. Let's see, right here. So we could possibly be seeing some type of something right in this region right here, some possible rotation going on kind of in that general location, maybe even down here as well. Some of these storms are really, the radar is kind of a little harder to read in this specific area a little bit. And I've noticed that throughout today when I was tracking some of these storms. But if you live in Albine right now, let's go over that storm currently right now. I know a lot of people are paying attention to this storm. We can see severe thunderstorm warning. So this right now has really changed here. So it looks like just over here, if you look just to north of Albany, Actually, yeah. So look at this. I think this is headed. Oh wow! Look at that hook. That's possible. So there is a hook right now on the severe thunderstorm warning, but I wouldn't say there's any clear rotation, and the severe thunderstorm warning does not have a tag on it for possible tornadoes. But definitely, still we could be seeing something in here. But large hail. Let's see if we can go to the hydrometer classification. Definitely seems like. Excuse me, it's not as strong. Yep, there we go. I'm starting to think this like radar is not, accurate like sometimes when I click on it, because this one has the, so that some of these severe thunderstorm warnings do have the major tornado or the major hail issues right now, but not seeming like it does right now as much. All right, let's see what is happening with, let's see here. Freddie McKinney here right now. He is tracking a severe thunderstorm right now in Goodland, Kansas. We're watching that closely here in Goodland, Kansas. He is tracking a severe thunderstorm warning there. New severe thunderstorm warning, obviously, in Oklahoma. We're going to keep an eye on that really closely here. But all I will say is he's tracking it right now, that a severe thunderstorm that is continuing on there. Let's see if we have any others. Currently right now, I definitely know we're going to be keeping an eye on some of these storms. So right now, let's go to, and make sure to check out their YouTube channels as well as their live streaming them currently. This is Connor Croft right here. So Connor Croft, let's get him up here on the screen. So this is Connor Croft. We can see he's right now going through Burlington, Colorado. A pretty big storm is continuing on right now that we can obviously see as he is facing, or the camera is facing behind him, and now he's moved it. But it definitely looks like, if you see that right there, especially when you're on the road, we're seeing a lot of that hail really starting to kind of hit the ground and really just falling down, as probably the biggest part of the storm will be off right there to his west. Yeah, so very, very large storm right now. So let's go actually to that. So this is in Burlington, Colorado. So one of these storms over here, I don't exactly know where Burlington, Colorado, it's right down here. So this is where it is right now. So he's paying attention to this. He's probably headed more into, so he's kind of in the center area right here. That's kind of what we're looking at right now. So hail is definitely kind of fallen already in that region. It definitely doesn't seem like it's as strong as it was before, but definitely some hail is possibly right in this general area right now. It seems like he's kind of more on the back roads. He's made it through Burlington a little bit ago right now. So the storm continuing to move off over here to the northeast, but still continuing to watch Connor Croft right now. You can see he's got very dark clouds off to his more of his west here, as he's continuing to go looking north, and he's going to be continuing to follow this storm that's going to be moving with him right now, honestly, because some of it, I believe, is right now is currently behind him, but he's going to be following this storm very closely when it comes to that, because he's kind of in the general area. So he's more on the eastern side, so he's in this storm. I think he might be trying to get ahead of this storm currently right there. So we're going to keep an eye, obviously, on that. And right now we actually do have an observed tornado now on the ground here. So let's get into that. We have an observed tornado warning that is now on the ground here. So if you're just tuning in, we have a brand new, and this is something that we're currently looking at. I mean, this was a major hook that was on the ground here. It seems like it's disappeared right now, but tornado warning right now, very large. There is a observed tornado right here over Albany. I would take cover immediately. We were tracking this hook not too long ago. Very major storm right now is on the ground here. Rotation sitting more back into this region right here. This is a very dangerous storm, as a tornado is now on the ground. We saw the hook on the radar here. We saw the hook, and that's kind of what we were paying attention to right now. This is going to be continuing to move off to the east here. We're going to be keeping an eye on this as ping pong ball sized hail as well. will be continuing its path, and that is something we're going to be keeping in mind, as the hail is also going to be on this. But let's keep an eye obviously on this storm here. As we did see that hook, we were talking about it. Right now it does seem like it's kind of calming itself down with that hook look, but we'll see here in a second what we're going to be dealing with here. And this is going to be one of many tornado warnings that we are expecting tonight here. We're expecting several other storms to continue on. But right now, really, this storm is something to pay attention to. If you live in Albany, Texas, this is an observed tornado warning that is now on the ground. This is very dangerous storm right now. The storm has been upgraded. The tornado warning has been upgraded here. Very major tornado right now is on the ground here. So major tornado, well, actually it has lifted. Good news, it has lifted right now. So that's a pretty plus news there. The tornado has lifted. We definitely knew it probably had a quick touchdown. That is for sure. Had a quick touchdown, as we knew that the possibilities for this storm were, going to be pretty dangerous. That's for sure. With it, let's see. Trying to see what we can do here, but now radar indicated. So radar indicated tornado now here. It's not on the ground anymore. It did have a brief touchdown, but right now let's pray and hope that this does not go through or does not touch down anymore here, because Albany right now, this storm is heading right for your location. So please be taking cover immediately right now. If you are in that area in Albany, please be making sure you are taking cover immediately, as we have a tornado that is radar indicated right now, is on the ground. Very major, or it's radar indicated now, but it was on the ground. It was on the ground pretty quick and lifted awfully pretty quick as well. But right now we also have the storm heading right for a pretty big city, so that's something that we kind of want to pay attention to. Let me move this a little bit here, the alerts. There we go. So I moved the alerts a little bit so we can have maybe a little bit more space so it doesn't look as goofy as it did. But major tornado warning continuing on for Albany, Texas. So if you live in Albany, Texas, please be making sure you are taking cover immediately, as this storm did have a quick touchdown. The storm did have a quick touchdown, and we're watching the storm very, very closely as it continues to move off to the east here. Let's see if we go to the correlation coefficient. Is there something? So not on anything on the correlation coefficient now. Let's see if there was when it did have a little touchdown. Let's see. Maybe there was something slight here, but this storm did have a touchdown not too long ago. As it's approaching Albany right now, please be taking cover immediately if you are in Albany, Texas. Take cover immediately right now. I cannot stress this enough. We already had a tornado on the ground from this specific storm. We were talking about the hook. Right now it is approaching the Albany area. It is a little bit of a broad rotation, but right now continuing to move off to the east. So this will be going through Metro Albany right now. So let's keep an eye obviously on that storm right now. We have another tornado warning that's over here, but right now I really want to stay close on this Albany one, because this is a major tornado that possibly could be going through Albany. We did have a slight touchdown not too long ago from this storm. That's why we are very, very concerned about it. As we saw in the last, couple radar frames here, we saw that hook that we were really paying attention to. We saw the hook not too long ago. There it was right there. We were paying attention to it there, and that storm just popped up a tornado warning very quickly off of that. And, let's continue to, go backwards a little bit. That's, we started seeing it form not too long ago, and then it really kind of wrapped itself out, and that's why we're not seeing any tornado on the ground now, which is some good news that we're not seeing it. But let's see if we can get to the other tornado warning right now. Currently, this is in Kansas. Several counties in Kansas. Right now, tornado warning is now on the ground, or is not, is now issued, not on the ground, but very possible rotation sitting right in there. We'll be moving up to the north here. So this storm will be moving up to the north. So we're going to keep an eye, obviously, on that storm. Not too much of concern right now for us. We're right now going to be mostly paying attention to the tornado warning that is down here by Albany, and then eventually could be possibly making its way to Breckenridge. So let's keep an eye on this storm. Let's see what the information on this storm is. It is moving east at 25, so not moving very quickly here. So let's kind of draw it out really quick and see what we could possibly be seeing with this storm here. So if we go on, whoopsies, 25 miles an hour here for this storm. So the storm will be approaching Albany in 6 minutes here. 6 minutes, Albany. This storm will be in your area, and then Breckenridge in about an hour. According to this population, it's 7,412. But let's make sure we're keeping an eye on this if you live in Breckenridge as well. Even though the storm is more off to the west, we want to continue to keep an eye on this specific storm right here, because this storm will eventually make its way, and it already had a quick touchdown before Albany, but it seems like right now it is approaching Albany, the metro area. So a lot of people, possibly could be living in there. So very, very big storm right now. We are continuing to watch closely here. Let's see if we go to the correlation coefficient, anything on there. Is this something we'll definitely see? I would probably say the good thing is the tornado warning, is not observed anymore, but we do have a powerful, probably rotation, a little bit more broad now, but a little bit of rotation still going over the Albany area. So possibly could we see a new tornado touchdown at all? That is the big question that we're going to be asking ourselves. Will we see any touchdown? It definitely seems like it is over Albany right now. Very large winds right over here on the backside of the storm. 61-mile-an-hour winds on the backside of this storm. This will be continuing to move off to the east. So Breckenridge, once again, keep an eye out, obviously, on that specific storm if you live in Breckenridge. Right now, we're not seeing too many other severe, or any other tornado warnings except for that one. Let's go to the one just north of it here in Texas. We can see currently with this storm right here, tennis ball sized hail is, right now currently looked at and has been, observed here. Considerable threat. But yeah, so this is kind of what we're paying attention to. It looks like it's trying to form its hook again. Wow. But very large hail could be possibly sitting onto the more of the northern part of this storm. But I really want to bring up something really quickly here on how much, we're kind of seeing this storm really kind of wrapping itself around, I think, again, and it wants to kind of get its act together here to continue to possibly drop a possible small tornado again, and that's something we could be paying attention to here. With that, but we're not seeing any tornado right now going through Albany, but definitely rotation is starting to look more impressive right now. So if we go back, not a little bit ago here, probably not too long, we saw the hook forming. There it was right there. You can definitely see it, and then it moved to the east and then died before, so it had a quick touchdown. That's why they issued the tornado warning. The tornado warning was issued. They issued it a little late as the tornado was already on the ground. And then we saw it kind of move off to the east here, and that is going to be going through Albany right now. So no tornado is active as of right now. None is on the ground currently. So that's good news right there. And we obviously still have that tornado warning up there. Not too big of a concern for that one. We have a brand new severe thunderstorm watch that has now just been issued here in Arkansas, as we're starting to see some of these storms being pretty strong here in this specific area of Arkansas, especially this western part. We're seeing a very strong storm currently continuing on right now, and that was going to be moving off to the east. So we're going to keep an eye, obviously, on that storm as well. Let's see if I can go back over here. See what we're looking at here. Do we have any storm chasers that are currently going through stuff? Let's see. we want to keep an eye on these storm chasers as well. We want to see these storms are going to continue ramping up. That is for sure. So let's see what we can let's see what we can pull up here right now. Freddie McKinney, we were paying attention to him not too long ago. He was right here. We were paying attention to Freddie. He's right now still in Burlington, Colorado here. Right now they're under I think their severe thunderstorm warning expired. We'll go back to them here in a second. A lot of dark clouds obviously here continuing on, and we're going to be seeing him continue to move off into more of the tornado watch favorable area here, and you kind of can see that he is beating out the storm. The storm is behind him, and that's what we said a little bit earlier, that the storm was following more behind. And now we actually have a third tornado warning that has now just been issued. So let's get to this brand new tornado warning that we have now just issued currently here. So this is a radar indicated tornado here. Whoopsies, not that one. Well, we have, another tornado warning that has now just been issued as well. So we have 4 tornado warnings that are issued currently here. This one is in Colorado. We'll get to that one here in a second. Let's get to the newest one right here, the newer one. Get to that radar. So here you go. Currently, tornado warning active for this area. 35 minutes, 1.75 inches in golf ball sized hail right now. That's where we're going to be continuing to pay attention to. The velocity signature currently, possibly, the storm is sitting back here, and that will eventually be making its way off to the east. And we're going to continue to see this storm continue to move off to the east. So I wouldn't say too much. These are mostly staying in, no populated areas. They're kind of out in fields, which is good news, but still have other stuff that we have to pay attention to as well. So tornado warning over here in Colorado. We're continuing to pay attention to this tornado specifically, or this storm specifically here, because it does have some tight rotation that we're seeing. Kind of that will be pushing up to the north here. This expires in 34 minutes, so we'll definitely see there might be something a little bit farther here in the back as well. So maybe a couple rotations in that specific storm. So we're keeping an eye on these storms very closely right now. So we're going to keep an eye on some of these storms. So we have 5 active tornado warnings right now. We have a brand new tornado warning that has now just been issued. So let's get to that tornado warning right here. This is one that we've been paying attention to very closely. This is one that we've been watching very closely because we've been, seeing the rotation that was on this storm. So let's see if the rotation is still as impressive as it was. Seems like the radar is having a little bit of trouble kind of reading it. Let's see maybe if this one, so we're gonna have to stay on this one here. But definitely some possible rotation kind of sitting in this specific storm. Definitely you can see the one off to the west here, possibly 2 rotations. So you got this one right there, and you got one right here kind of in the middle. These will be pushing up here kind of in the same direction right there. So that's something to pay attention to for this tornado warning right here, but not really in any populated areas there. So that is good news right now. We have a brand new tornado warning, 6 tornado warnings active now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's the other? Wait, we have 6 tornado warnings. Where's the new tornado warning here? Oh, we got 2 in Texas. Yep. So they've issued another tornado warning here in Texas. We can see right now we're just having constant warnings going on right now here. 25 severe thunderstorm warnings currently active. Right now, tornado warning continues on. Velocity signature showing the possibility for some rotation, kind of sitting back in here, kind of in this region. Let's see, is this yeah. So some rotation sitting back in there that will be eventually making its way into that specific tornado warning here. So the tornado is really starting to start here. Let's head back down here to Texas, because this is the main tornado warning that we were paying attention to. Or actually, no, this is. Yeah, so Albany right here, this was a tornado warning that we were watching very closely. Albany's right now going through the storm. There's no major rotation. This one actually touched down, and then that's when they issued the tornado warning, and then it lifted very quickly. So that was good news, but they didn't issue the tornado warning until after it already touched down. So that's what we're going to be continuing to watch that storm just in case, as we've seen some pretty big severe storms off of that one. Now we have another tornado warning here. off of this storm. So let's keep an eye on this tornado warning right here. Radar indicated this tornado warning, 31 minutes remaining on this tornado. Let's see, rotation, really something back here. I would say we'd possibly be seeing something back here going to be pushing up to the north here. So that's something that we want to keep an eye on very closely here, as the rotation will be continuing and we see the storm kind of go more off to the north. So that's going to be something we're going to keep an eye on closely. So if you live in the path of that storm, so probably if you live in Hagler, you definitely want to keep an eye on this specific storm, because this storm could be moving towards your area here pretty soon currently. So we want to keep an eye on that very closely. Let's head to this severe thunderstorm warning right over here. This is a pretty big severe thunderstorm warning right now. 30 minutes remaining with this one. Considerable damage threat as the hail is lime-sized hail. The velocity signature right now, no tornado is possible off that storm, which is good news, but definitely some very large hail is continuing on in Kansas. And actually, we're having, some good amount of sized hail in different areas. But right now, taking a big look here at the warnings, watches, and all of that, well, we're kind of just seeing a little bit of, areas right here. So you got this area, you got this area, and then you got this area. 3 different areas here of warnings that we're going to be continuing on throughout tonight. This is expected to possibly get even worse and worse as we go on throughout the night here, especially as they start getting more into these deeper areas right now. So let's actually pull up here the severe weather outlook for tonight. So you can clearly see right now, the tornado watch is obviously issued all the way over here from Nebraska down here into Texas. So that's the enhanced, mostly the enhanced area right there. And then really the moderate risk, hasn't yet to see really anything go on. That is more later on. That will be more later on during the more severe storm part of the day. All right, let's see what we're going to be doing here. And we have another tornado warning that has now just been issued. See if I can type this in here. Alright, so we're going to keep an eye on these right now. We have a brand new tornado warning that has now just been issued just south of this tornado warning right now. So let's actually head into this tornado warning specifically, as this one's newer here. Let's keep an eye on this storm very, very closely. The storm's moving pretty quickly here. It has a little bit of that hook that we can obviously see right now on that storm. So there's the hook kind of more on the back end of the storm here. That's probably why they issued it, with the velocity signature definitely showing some type of rotation here. Going to be pushing over here to the north. There's that rotation that we're going to be continuing to watch. I do not think there's any tornado on the ground with that storm. As there is no tornado that has been observed. We have no observed tornado at this moment right now. No observed tornado. Let's see what some of our storm tracer friends are doing here. So right now it actually seems like we could be seeing something. So if we head back to this specific tornado warning right now, we have an observed tornado that has now just been issued. As I pulled up here, as I pulled up Freddie McKinney's stream. So let's pull that up really quickly here. So we have an observed tornado on the ground currently. Freddie McKinney is tracking the storm, and he is actually looking at the storm currently. So let's pull up him really quickly here. Freddie McKinney, right now, this is him. Make sure to go check him out. Freddie McKinney watching this. He is in this tornado warned storm right now. He is now a tornado confirmed. Let's see, what are we looking at? Do we see anything too big going on right now on this specific storm here? Do we see any tornado on the ground at this time? Did it lift up quickly, or did it just slow down? The biggest thing is all right, let's see if he turns here. Yeah, so we're not seeing any tornado warning at this time, or we're not seeing any tornado on the ground at this time, but we are paying attention right now to the storm, because this is a pretty big storm that is right now currently moving to the north here. We have this observed tornado warning moving to the north, and we can see that little bit of a hook situation kind of going into the back of it. If we go to the velocity signature, it seems like it's kind of right in this region. We had a quick touchdown. I wouldn't say it's on the ground anymore. I definitely think it's probably lifted just a little bit here. And we don't have any tornado warning right now actually on the ground. Currently, I don't think we have a tornado warning right now on the ground. I think we are currently paying attention to just in case, we're going to be currently paying attention to the storm right now moving here as we're seeing, that rotation kind of going around. So we're going to keep an eye obviously on that very closely. We'll get back to that storm here pretty soon. Getting you the latest information here as they are, as we're paying attention to their, I'm watching their stream as well, trying to see if we see any tornado kind of go, because that was an active tornado on the ground. It was observed, but I think it has lifted. I'm not seeing anything currently right now from this specific storm. Now, definitely some gusty winds, maybe some small hail going with this storm as well. They're changing their direction right now. It looks like they're going to be trying to go more to the south of the storm here. They're going to try to do something with the storm here, but they're going to keep an eye obviously on it right now. We're going to keep an eye on it as well. So let's keep an eye on this storm. If there is a tornado on the ground, it would be more in this region right here. We have those velocity winds kind of going around here, and that's kind of what's causing the rotation and the spin up in this general area here. That's kind of what we're paying attention to and watching very closely, and especially this storm will be moving off to the northeast, or just moving north here at 40 miles an hour. So let's kind of draw this out here for you. 40 miles an hour going up to the north, 40 miles an hour. No big population is in the way for this storm, so that is some good news that we have there. But we definitely are going to keep an eye on that one, as there is an observed tornado tag on that one specifically. So we're going to keep an eye on that, as that is an observed tornado warning that we actually do have right now. Let's see if there's anyone else right now. Let's go back to Connor Croft right now. Let's see what he's looking at currently right now. He is in Burlington, Colorado still, so that storm right over here. We're going to be keeping an eye on Burlington, Colorado as well right now. So Burlington, Colorado, this is him. This is Connor Croft right now. You can see it looks like he's turning around, trying to go. I think he's probably trying to go towards another storm here, because you kind of can see right here he has two storms on his radar that he's currently looking at, and you can definitely see with this storm very large and very dark clouds kind of continuing right here. The big question that we all are questioning is he's probably looking right now, currently at this storm currently here, watching if this will have any possible formation of a tornado, as it already is looking a little bit interesting here on the radar. So let's actually head more over to that severe thunderstorm warning that we are seeing currently with this storm. So this is by Goodland. Gotta find where Goodland is here. Yeah, so he's actually looking at a tornado warned storm. So he is paying attention to this tornado warned storm. He is in the tornado warned storm, and we are currently watching the storm right now. So he's watching the storm very closely here. We have this storm right now just northwest of Goodland. Very large and destructive tornado was on the ground slightly from this storm, but not any more. So this storm right now is continuing to move off to the north here, and we're continuing to see it push off to the north, and we're going to be continuing to see something off this storm. So let's go back over here to Connor Croft and see what he's zooming into right now. Make sure to check out his YouTube channel as well. So there's the storm that we're looking at right now with the possibility of that tornado being active. We are maybe some rotation possibly right in that clouds right there. I'm thinking that is probably something, and those clouds are starting to lower a little bit. So we might be seeing here a possible tornado coming down currently, or at least trying to form its way down. So that's why he zoomed into that. He's looking at that specific storm here. Are we going to see this change here? Are we going to see something form out of this? Possibly. We see a lot of, there's that rotation that we're watching closely. Let's go back to the radar really quickly here. So still has, that observed tag. If we head to the velocity signature, I would definitely say the rotation seeming like it's probably right in this general area. So it seems like right now he is also moving a little bit off. He's going to be moving a little bit of a different direction currently right now, but still wants to keep an eye on that storm, because that definitely has a little bit of a rotating cloud in that. And if you are, paying attention here to the velocity signature, obviously, you have red that goes away from the radar, you have green that goes towards the radar, and we're starting to see maybe something kind of forming right in there. And we were just looking at that on Connor Croft's screen and his live stream. We were just paying attention to that very closely here. It seems like they're really active up here right now. So this is, lime-sized hail as well. Just got updated here. So new tornado warning on it. Let's see what we're going to be seeing right now. So let's actually go back really quickly here. I want to see if I can go back to Freddie McKinney. So Freddie McKinney is also on I believe he's on this exact storm. So he's not too far off from Connor Croft right now. He's very not far off of him right now. So let's head over to Freddie McKinney's live stream here. Make sure to check him out as well. Currently can look at, maybe some rotating clouds as well in front of him. Him and Connor Croft are not far from each other right now, just like this on the radar. He's over here going to the north, it seems, possibly, kind of getting to the more side of the storm. He's probably going right towards that storm, and that's kind of the clouds that he's probably looking at right now. If you turn the camera a little bit, we'd have a better view of probably more of this. But we have that tornado confirmed on the ground still. I definitely think Connor had a little bit of a better thing of what we were looking at during that time. We'll get back to that here in a second. We're going to keep an eye on this tornado warning here, as it still is observed, and is still observed a tornado warning here. The velocity signature definitely very hard to see as of right now. So we might not be seeing a tornado on the ground now. Excuse me. So probably not seeing a tornado on the ground as of right now. So that's something we're going to be keeping an eye on very closely here. If that, chooses to touch down again, we're going to keep an eye on that. And we're starting to see some of these storm chasers starting off in Kansas. They're starting to start off here. But we have 9 tornado warnings active right now, as our tornado warnings are really starting to ramp up in some of these areas currently. So we have 9 tornado warnings active. We have another tornado warning that's over here just by Albany. Brand new tornado warning that's just a little bit more to the northern part here of this storm. So let's take a look at the velocity signature. What are we looking at? Obviously, Albani is back here. We were tracking that storm earlier, but here's that rotation right here. So this is just, this is just about northeast of Albani here. We have a brand new tornado warning radar indicated here. Pretty tight rotation right over near County Road 112, Private Road 1120. That seems like we could be possibly seeing something. Let's see if we can get a correlation coefficient on this storm here. It's a pretty tight rotation. I'm not seeing, debris really off that storm, but that's something that we want to pay attention to closely, because we know that that is a tornado that could possibly form and hit the ground due to that rotation being really tight. So we do have an update on the tornado warning that we have been watching. It is radar indicated now, so the storm did lift. It's not on the ground anymore. Currently, it is not on the ground anymore, so that is some good news there. The biggest thing that I will say that we do have a possibility for, obviously we're still going to be anticipating more storms going on throughout the night here, and we're going to be anticipating a lot more tornado warnings here. We're still going to be expecting some of these new tornado warnings continuing on right now. So let's keep an eye, obviously, on some of these big storms that we're going to be watching closely here. And we're having a lot of storms right now that are starting to continue to just ramp up. A lot of storms ramping up at this time, and we're continuing to watch these storms right now. Severe thunderstorm warnings starting to head up in numbers, as well as some tornado warnings, as we have 8 tornado warnings active at this time. One of them was on the ground. Now it's not on the ground, but we obviously want to, let's go back down actually to this one near Albani, because this one has a pretty decent rotation on it here. This is the northeastern tornado warning from Albani. It is radar indicated, but really had right here some big rotation possibly sitting right in this region right here. That's some pretty tight rotation that I would say we want to keep an eye on very closely, just in case if that does pop a tornado onto the ground here. Actually, let's see if we can draw this out. How fast is this storm moving here? So it's moving east at 15. This storm is moving very slow, very, very, very slow. Let's see. So you could run faster than this storm, man. I mean, unless everyone, can run 15 miles an hour. But getting back to this, moving east here at 15 miles an hour. So let's draw that out right now. We can currently see, doesn't seem like any big populations or anything too big. Is just mostly going to stay out into the fields. It's kind of in its way. So we're just going to keep an eye out on that closely, just in case. Because that could still form something. Could possibly still form something there. Couple active tornado warnings if you are just tuning in. We have a couple active tornado warnings right now continuing on, as well as severe thunderstorms that are continuing as well right now. Let's actually see if we can go back to that storm chasing and seeing if we're seeing anything new on there. Oh, wow. So let's actually take a look at Reed Timmer's live stream right now. We have a tornado reported right now. We are in, this is for Oklahoma. So let's head down over here to Oklahoma. We have an observed tornado right now on the ground here. And I'm going to pull up Reed Timmer's really quickly here. Baseball-sized hail. We have a tornado that is on the ground here, possibly over Higgins. Very large tornado right now is actually on the ground. So this is Reed Timmer live currently right now. We are paying attention to it closely. Let's go back a little bit. Look at this storm right now that we were looking at. We saw this storm. Reed Timmer watching this storm here in Oklahoma. Very large tornado possibly coming down here. And I believe it's on the ground. It has been reported right now. There has been a reported storm right there. Look at that. That is a view right there that is a, you know, a big tornado that is trying to get its act together here. It's really, I think, is there any debris being picked up on it? It's kind of hard to see with all the hills. But let's see if Reed Timmer kind of makes his way around here. Kind of makes his little way around to see if we can have a little bit better of a view to see if it, you know, if it's touching the ground right now. While that's going on, let's see what we can look at here on the radar. So we currently can take a look at the radar right now and seeing some of these winds, you know, really starting to ramp up in some of these areas here. But then you take a look at something, you know, this is the rotation continuing on. So if you live in Arnett, Oklahoma, you need to take cover immediately. The storm is headed right for you. A tornado on the ground with baseball-sized hail. The storm is heading right for you at this time. The storm is moving northeast here at 35 miles an hour. Wow, yeah, so we got something really here on the ground. 35 miles an hour, this storm. Population 481, it seems. Arnett, 17 minutes. Take cover immediately with this storm right now as it is on the ground. We are paying attention to the storm very closely here currently. So if you live in Arnett, take cover immediately. This is a very dangerous and particularly dangerous storm right now as we have a destructive tornado that is on the ground and it is heading towards your guys' area. Let me pull up the Reed Timmer stream again right now. Make sure to go check him out, everyone. So right there, you can obviously see there's that tornado right there. This was 3 minutes ago right there, but you can see that it was, you know, coming down from the clouds. Obviously, I couldn't exactly see if there was, if it was on the ground or not, if there was any debris. I think it's kind of farther out there, but there probably is debris that we were, you know, seeing, but there has been a tornado reported off this storm right here that we're continuing to watch very closely. This will continue on currently right now, but if you live in Arnett, you need to take cover immediately right now, as this is a major tornado that is on the ground and will continue and really will be bearing down on you guys pretty soon here, and that's something that we don't like to see, and that's why we want to keep an eye on this storm very, very closely right now. It is an observed tornado currently heading towards Arnett. Very large and violent tornado possibly could be in this general area here. If we take a look at the velocity signature, I mean, we're seeing something pretty significant. I mean, this is something right here. Winds of almost over 100 miles an hour, 140 mile an hour winds currently going on over here, headed for Arnett, Oklahoma. So if you know anyone in Arnett, Oklahoma, share this stream with them, because this is a very dangerous tornado that is heading that direction right now and is expected to arrive in the next 15 minutes for that area. So let's make sure we're keeping an eye on it. Very, very strong storm right now on the ground. All right, let's see what we're looking at right now here with this storm, if there's any big updates coming in currently. Tornado right now bearing down, heading for Arnett. Very large and destructive tornado right now has been reported off of this storm. I think we might be seeing it kind of lifting a little bit. I don't think it's going to be, I mean, the velocity signature showing a very, very strong possible tornado here. Just maybe a couple frames ago, we saw that really moving over here to the northeast, right towards Arnett. So whatever this storm does here, this storm is heading right for Arnett. This is a very dangerous storm right now, and is heading towards the town of Arnett right now. So let's keep an eye on this storm. If you live in Arnett, this storm, I think it has lifted. It was on the ground, but we're watching it just in case. The velocity signature kind of getting a little bit more broad, which is some good news that we're not seeing a massive tornado anymore heading towards your location, but something to be paying attention to very closely, because this is a major storm still that we're looking at here. And let's actually head over to Reed Timmer here on YouTube, because he right now is actually watching this storm currently. Look at that rotating cloud right there that you can obviously see. Very rotating storm right now. The big question is, does this form that tornado again? Does it start to come back down again? That right there, he could be pointing out something. I mean, obviously it's a little harder for us to see it than he is, but definitely a rotating cloud continues on in this general area right now. So we want to keep an eye on this massive area right here, because that could drop this tornado and possibly start it all up again, and we could be paying attention to that. And the velocity signature really starting to look a little bit more impressive now. I would say it's starting to look a little more impressive, from the last time we just saw it. So very, very dangerous storm heading for Arnett right now. We have 7 tornado warnings active right now in Kansas. Oh, we have a brand new tornado warning on that. We'll get back to that one really closely here, because in Kansas we have an observed tornado warning here in Kansas. Let's get to that one really quickly here. And this, oh wow, this is very, very dangerous storm right here in Kansas as well. Observed tornadoes right now continuing on. This is one hook right here. This one has the possibility of a tornado possible heading to that velocity signature here in Kansas. We can see very large storm probably right there. Going to be paying attention to that one. And then over here we have 2 hooks on this storm right now. So we have 2 hooks. So we got 1 here and 2 there in Kansas. That will be probably pushing up over here to the northeast. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a tornado warning off of this storm, and maybe an extension on that tornado warning for this storm over here to the northern storm. We'll get back to that one here in a second. Let's get back over here into Oklahoma with this tornado warning right now. It does seem like it is radar indicated now. It did lift, but they are keeping the observed tag just in case, because they know that there is a pretty big rotating cloud here that we can see. If you guys have ever checked out Reed Timmer streams, right now he has it. He is there, and he is watching this storm as it is rotating. Let me pull it up again for you guys, because this is absolutely impressive here. Right there, you can see that spinature right there. That's something that we're going to be keeping an eye on very closely here on his stream, to see if we have any tornadoes come down from that storm and form again, as the storm right now is moving to Arnett, Oklahoma. Arnett, Oklahoma needs to be ready to go, as the path is they're heading directly for Arnett right now. Let's keep an eye on that storm closely with that one there. Let's head up to the Kansas ones here. Kansas right now, pretty big tornadoes probably on the ground here. Double threat right now continuing on for this specific storm here. So let's see if I can find someone that's in the Kansas area here. Let's see. I do not exactly know. Let's see. So because there's one tornado warning, obviously the northern part of this storm, I guess, has that tornado warning there. And you can just see it by both these storms and the velocity. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm a little surprised they haven't issued a tornado warning for this specific storm down here. Let's see if the correlation coefficient Yeah, there's some debris with this specific storm over here. We have debris right now. This storm is very dangerous right now. Continues to move off to the north here, northeast here at 30 miles an hour. So let's kind of draw it out here. 30 miles an hour. Do we have anyone in the population? It does not seem like anyone could be in the way of this. But this is definitely something that we could definitely be needing to pay attention to very closely here, as this storm is expected to move continuously off to the northeast here. So we're going to keep paying attention to this storm very closely here, especially these two, because they have hooks. I mean, especially this top one right here. Very, very dangerous storm that we're looking at right now. And then obviously that one in Oklahoma has not formed. Once again, it has not. It is still rotating a lot, though. We are still paying attention to a rotating storm right now with that specific storm. We're still paying attention to that. I'm not seeing anything right now here. If anyone's in Kansas, let's see. Not a lot of people that I'm seeing right now watching these storms here in Kansas, seeing this specific storm, trying to see if we have anyone that's seeing this specific storm at this time. But currently right now we have some pretty big storms that are obviously going to be continuing on currently right now. So let me pull up Freddie McKinney, because I think he is the closest to the storm right now. He's in St. Francis. So he's actually on this northern storm. So Freddie McKinney is on this northern storm right now here. I'm not seeing any storm chasers on this specific storm, but Freddie McKinney is on this storm currently right now up here to the north. We're continuing to pay attention to this specific storm as well, as it's under a tornado warning here. Let's see if the velocity signatures right now, maybe, yeah, so possibly something right now. So this is Freddie McKinney's live stream right now. He's paying attention to this storm right now. And he's really been watching the storm. I mean, he's been following the storm for the last about an hour. And he's been paying attention to it. Very dark clouds that we can obviously see continuing on in these areas. And this storm obviously is moving, kind of with him. He's moving with the storm here. So that he's going to be following with the storm. But obviously we want to keep an eye on, this is something that is going to be, continuing on even throughout the night. I mean, the good thing is that this won't be, heading right now as this storm. It's not hitting any big population areas, but definitely still has the possibility of becoming a very, very strong storm here, as that is still on the table. So right now he's showing us the sky above him. If there's any rotation, I might be seeing a little bit of slight rotation. I'm not seeing anything too appealing to the eye as of right now to really be like, oh wow, but still, I would say that tornado warning needs to be watched very closely with that one. That is a very dangerous storm that we could be paying attention to. I want to head back to Reed Timmer, because this one, we actually have a tornado right now on the ground, back on the ground right now. So right now we have a tornado. This storm is back on the ground. So right now we have some breaking news. Arnett, take cover immediately. The storm is back on the ground. A tornado is now on the ground here. Reed Timmer is tracking this storm. We have a tornado back on the ground here, and it's right now headed right for Arnett. Right now he is right there. Look at this storm right now that he is watching closely here. This is Reed Timmer. He's paying attention to this storm right now, continuing to watch this storm very closely. Make sure to be keeping an eye, or watching him. There's the tornado right in front of him. Or right above him. You guys can see the tornado right there. The debris is right in front of him. He's pretty much driving right through it. So definitely a very large storm. The tornado has been reported. It's right here on the ground right now. They're kind of sitting in it, actually. Not a very, very big tornado or anything like that, but this thing will be moving towards Arnett. So tornado has been reported once again. It does seem like it's coming down even more. It wants to, I think we might be seeing here possibly the storm. Yeah, look at that. Oh, wow. Look at that. It is coming down right now. Look at this tornado right now. It is coming down. It's making its way to the ground. Very, very interesting storm that we are watching closely here. Very, interesting tornado. Very nice rotating funnel cloud that we are seeing, but it's on the ground. So, I mean, very, very big storm. And right now, look at that. Look at that. It is getting closer and closer. They are sitting here watching this storm currently right now form, and waiting for it to possibly touch the ground here, and we will see if that happens, and we will constantly be paying attention. Just really now, it's on the ground. We can see that right now that it is on the ground. The biggest thing is what is it currently doing at this time? Is it going to come all the way down to the ground? Well, I mean, we're seeing debris coming up from this storm right now. Reed Timmer is right now tracking this tornado currently, as it will be heading for Arnott. So Arnott, if you live at Arnott, please be taking cover immediately. Let's head back to the radar really quickly, and then we'll get back to the storm right now, as that tornado is now on the ground. Major storm right now is on the ground here, and we're continuing to pay attention to it very closely. Very destructive storm right now. It is on the ground here. We are continuing to watch the storm closely right now. If you have any questions, make sure to leave it down in the chat below. If you guys want me to go anywhere in the United States to look at it, I will, to check them out, or check out your area that you want. I will definitely be doing that here. But right now we have a brand new we have a tornado right now, and oh wow, look at this. Reed Timmer stream right now. We see a massive tornado that has now just touched down, and is continuing. This storm will be heading for Arnott, so take cover immediately. We were just watching the storm closely. Now we have the storm kind of continuing down here, and you can see that debris cloud already continuing. Currently, we're seeing that debris cloud continuing right now. Everyone is going after this storm. Very major tornado is on the ground here. Thank you to Reed Timmer for continuing to watch this storm. We can get the latest information on it right now. I'm gonna keep that up just in case here, so we can get the latest information on that storm. Right now, Arnott tornado. You guys, 4 inches in diameter for this storm right now, heading for Arnott, Oklahoma. A major tornado is now on the ground, heading for Arnott. It does seem like it is weakening slightly. Here, as of what I'm looking at right now, it does look like it is weakening slightly, but major tornado is still continuing and is in progress still as we are talking. It is still in progress. Oh yeah, it's back on the ground here. We are watching this tornado right now. Look at this storm here. Look at this tornado. I mean, you don't see this here. I mean, you don't see this every day, it's not something like that, but tornado on the ground here. You can see it's a very formed tornado here. There's the debris right there. We can obviously see that it is on the ground because we are seeing the debris here. This is from Reed Timmer. There's that storm. Look at that. There's the storm right there. There's that tornado that is on the ground. This is heading once again for Arnott, Texas. Take immediate shelter as of right now. We need to be taking some serious precautions on this specific storm. This is a very dangerous storm here that we want to continue. There's the storm right there. There it is. It will be heading towards Arnott, so a tiny little town could possibly be getting hit pretty shortly from this tornado here. Very, very destructive tornadoes on the ground right now as it is observed, and we are watching it closely right now. This is a very dangerous situation currently that we are paying attention to. Reed Timmer, we thank you for showing us the tornado, especially here, and that's something that we want to really just continue to watch, as this storm will be approaching the Arnott area here pretty soon. We're going to be seeing this approaching the Arnott area very, very shortly here, and that will be showing us a lot of you know, just a lot. Yeah, this storm is on the ground here. We are paying attention to it. This is a very, very dangerous storm right now. Let me see if I can pull up here. Let me see if I can pull up right now what we're looking at here right now. So looking at this right now, we have Evan Freiberger right now going through this storm. There is that tornado currently right now up close. There is the debris. You can obviously see this right now. Yeah, that is something that we're going to be continuing to watch closely with that one. So thank you for him to, you know, all these people that are watching, or, you know, all these people that are constantly doing, you know, these tornadoes and tracing them, trying to give us the more information we can. But right now we're continuing to pay attention to this storm. So let's make sure we're keeping an eye on this storm very closely here, as it's a very destructive storm. Right now it is over Arnott. We are watching the storm. It's over Arnott right now. It's over Arnott, Oklahoma. We're seeing this storm currently continuing on. Oh, wow. Reed Timmer, let's go back to his stream really quickly here. He actually has this storm. You could see the tornado with his drone. You could see it on the ground here, possibly right now headed for Arnott. It's heading for Arnott right now. So if you are in Arnott, please be taking cover immediately. This is a very dangerous tornado that is right now on the ground here. Very dangerous storm, that is for sure. This is heading for Arnott, Oklahoma, if it's not already over Arnott, Oklahoma. Let's just please be making sure, if you are in Arnott, that you are taking cover immediately for this dangerous storm that is on the ground. This tornado is right now on the ground and continuing to move. We have several other tornado warnings active at this time right now. Currently, we're watching these storms. We have one over here in northern Kansas. We have the other two that are in Kansas as well. Continuing to watch these little areas here of tornadoes that are possible right now. So we're continuing to watch these storms very closely and continuing to see the possibilities of the threat continuing on throughout the night here. That is what we're going to be paying attention to as we see this tornado still on the ground. We have this tornado still on the ground here currently. So let me go back to this tornado right now, as this one is our main concern. Softball sized hail at this time. Heading back to the velocity, Arnott, this tornado is right over you currently. This is a tornado right over Arnott, Oklahoma. This will continue to kind of move off over here. It will move off to the northeast here. Very, very strong tornado right now is on the ground. Very, very strong tornado is on the ground, and we're continuing to pay attention to the storm very closely. Let's see if we can get the correlation coefficient going right now. Yeah, some debris has definitely been picked up here and really being watched by the radar right now as we're seeing this kind of continue on. We are seeing the debris being picked up near Arnott. So Arnott, you definitely need to be paying attention to. I think this storm might be right over Arnott. I mean, Arnott, 142 mile-an-hour winds. This storm just went right over Arnott. So praying for them. I hope that everyone took cover and that everyone is okay from this storm. Arnott, you guys, wow. I mean, that is 140 mile-an-hour winds with this storm right now. 140 mile-an-hour winds with Arnott, Oklahoma. Very, very large storm. Really, I mean, I wouldn't even believe that. You know, it's just, that's devastating to see that Arnott, Oklahoma has been hit with this tornado here. So let's all pray and hope that everyone is okay from this one right now. A tiny little town has been really hit. And that's just something that, you know, we're going to be continuing to watch as the storm continues to move off to the east. The good thing is it is starting to weaken now, but unfortunately it already has gone through Arnott, and we've seen Arnott already kind of been hit from this storm, and that is something that is very unfortunate to see, and we hope that everyone will be okay with that storm. Let's get back to this storm over here up to the north. These ones had some pretty impressional, pretty big hits right here. But this is a particularly dangerous situation right now. Let's actually go through this storm really quickly here. Elkader. Is this the right radar for it? Nope. Okay. Elkader. Wow. Very large storm right now. Continuing on. Very large tornado probably on the ground here. Let's see what the National Weather Service or the information. Oh, it just got updated here. It's still dangerously on the ground. So let's see. The radar and broadcast media confirmed the tornado. You are in a life-threatening situation. Flying debris may be deadly to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be destroyed. Considerable damage to homes, businesses, and vehicles are likely to complete destruction is possible. So unfortunately, we're seeing that kind of going through Elkader right now. A major tornado right now is going through their area right now. And unfortunately, to say this, you know, even though we might be seeing this tornado specifically right here, we have another one that's kind of behind it and kind of will be going, I mean, a little bit more off to a different location, but still pretty close to each other and pretty close to the same area. And this is a storm that we really are wanting to keep an eye on very closely right now, as you know, as this storm currently is continuing and probably has debris. So let's take a look at that correlation coefficient. Yeah, there's some debris that is being lofted up in the air from this storm here. And then was this one observed as well? Yeah, so we have 2 observed tornado warnings back to back right now. Very large and destructive storms continuing on with this one, and they just, wow. Sometimes you get really surprised by some of these storms, you know, and what they're capable of doing. So make sure if you do have any questions, leave it down in the chat below, as you know, if you want me to go through the future radar or all that. We know we have a more severe weather going on throughout tonight. We know that this is going to be continuing on here. We're going to be watching this very closely here as we continue our coverage right now, as we have these tornado warnings over here that are active with actual observed tornado warnings on them. And, you know, we have this particularly dangerous situation. I can report that the one in Oklahoma is now radar indicated, has lifted, but right now our main concern will probably be on this one on Elkader right now, a little town right here. As this storm is continuing right now to move at 35 miles an hour. Let's see. It doesn't say anyone's in the population or anywhere in that area for anyone to be impacted, but we're going to keep an eye on it very closely just in case. Very large and destructive tornado continuing on in Kansas. That is a storm that has a particularly dangerous situation tag on it right now. I can report a brand new tornado watch has now just been issued right now here by the National Weather Service, and maybe even a severe thunderstorm watch as well. Let's talk about that really quickly here. You can see that it has been extended just a little bit more into Kansas, as these storms obviously we've been paying attention to them moving off to the east here, and then a severe thunderstorm watch has really started to has popped up once again in Kansas. Here the severe thunderstorm watch will be issued more for 6 hours here, as this tornado watch for the next 4 hours. But probably here in the next couple of hours we're going to see this tornado watch be extended for this area. This is a very large and destructive tornado right now that is on the ground. You can see it. There might be 2. Honestly, there might be 2 tornadoes on the ground right now. So we have this one that's possibly over just, maybe northeast of Elkader. And then you have this one that's off to the west of Elkader. that could possibly be a concern as the storm continues to move off. You know, we might be having twins here, as what they, or sisters, and as what they say in Twister. And then obviously we have that one off to the south that's observed as well. We have that one that we're paying attention to here off to the south. There's this one right here. We can clearly see some possible big rotation off that one, continuing to move off as well. Let's see if this one's actually headed through any major populated areas here. It's moving at the same speed. No major populated areas, so that's at least some type of good news right there. I think these are the only two warnings that we have that are observed tornadoes right now on the ground. But right now I will say we actually have a brand new severe thunderstorm watch that has now just been extended even more here for the next 6 hours once again into more of Kansas and maybe in even parts of southern Nebraska now. You can see that severe thunderstorm watch is continuing on right now. Eventually, probably in the next couple of hours, those will turn into tornado watches. But then after that, the next couple of hours, Missouri could possibly get a severe thunderstorm watch. And they'll kind of just push them through until the severe weather threat is kind of just dying down a little bit. All right, let's head back down here into Texas. We haven't been down here into Texas for a little bit here with this storm right now. Let's see. So we do have, obviously, the tornado warning here due to that hook that's kind of in the backside here of this storm. I'm not seeing anything too much with the velocity signature. I'm not seeing anything too like clear or anything like that, but we might be seeing let's see, maybe here in the, we could possibly see something in the future if it keeps up like that, you know. So we'll keep an eye on that one, obviously. And then right now, back to the Oklahoma storm. It has formed itself again. We have another tornado warning that is now, you know, that has an observed tag right now. Already went through the town of Arnett, and now we have, once again, a tornado that is on the ground right now. And Reed Timmer actually is back on it right now. Make sure to go check out his channel as well. So here it is. You can see that tornado right now. There it is right there. Clear as can be. This tornado on the ground currently. I mean, I'm not seeing no debris cloud. Oh, I think it's roping. It's out. I think it's roping out right now. I think it's dying down. Did it form itself a little bit? Yeah, look at that. I mean, that was something that we saw here, 3 minutes ago. I guess it came back down. Really went through Arnett and just it continued itself, but I think it probably maybe roped itself out now. I think that's kind of what we just witnessed from his stream. And yeah, there it is. So it's, it's not, we're still going to pay attention to it. If it forms again, then we obviously know we have another tornado that's on the ground. Again, that's my biggest thing that we're paying attention to. We're continuing to watch that closely here. And you can see that kind of here on the velocity signature that there is a tight rotation with a pretty strong, rotation with this storm. And it will continue to move off once again to the northeast. So the storm is going to continue to move to the northeast here. And if it keeps it up, eventually it can make it to possibly Sharon over here. Another little tiny town that could be getting impacted. So very, very major storm right now that we are continuing to pay attention to in Oklahoma. I think it has lifted again here and it is not back on the ground, but we'll definitely see as that one has been a jumper and it has continued to go up, down all the time here. So we're going to keep an eye on that one very closely right now. So let's keep an eye on that tornado warned storm very closely here. The only ones that I would say that we have observed right now, and then obviously a PDS tornado warning, is this one over here by Elkadar. This one has been a pretty big storm, and they might issue a new tornado warning for this area right over here. So we'll have to keep an eye on that right now. The velocity signature, very, kind of a little bit more of a broader rotation than what we saw earlier. So a little bit more of a broader rotation than we saw earlier. But still, once again, a storm that is continuing to move off of. So I wouldn't be surprised if the National Weather Service does not issue another tornado warning here and an upgraded or, maybe even a radar indicated tornado at that time. If it's still putting debris down. Kind of hard to tell exactly. Maybe a little bit of something. It does have that hook. And then you obviously have this storm down here that we also could be paying attention to closely. That this one has a very tight rotation sitting in right over here. And if we zoom in a little bit, what roads are these? Let's see. So this big road right here has no name. All right, has no name. So no name road here. It looks like it's going to cross that right now. If we look at West Road 230, you can see it's over here to the north of that road currently. And I think if we go to the correlation coefficient with them, is it a little harder to see? There's definitely some debris that is being lofted in the air with that one too. So continuing to pay attention to that. Obviously, observe tornado still continues on in the Oklahoma region. That is still continuing on as of right now. We're continuing to watch that just in case if that kind of forms again. And they have a new tornado warning right now that has just been issued on this storm right now. Has just been issued on it once again, and now we are seeing it here. And it is radar indicated now. So good news, it has lifted. It's not on the ground anymore. It is radar indicated. You know, the big question is, you know, obviously if you live in Sharon now and just south of Woodward, you guys are now under this tornado warning here. Woodward, you're not in it, which is good news because that is a pretty big town. Obviously a lot bigger than Arnett, but Arnett definitely took a hit from this tornado. Very, very unfortunate. And I pray and hope that all of them are okay after that storm. That was a pretty big hit. I mean, it took direct path through Arnett. It wasn't to the north, it wasn't through the south. It went right down the center of Arnett. So we're going to continue to watch that tornado storm as that one's continuing on as well. Continuing to just pay attention to that one, you know, as we go on. And then you have these two mostly up here that we're watching closely because this one is a PDS tornado warning. You know, expires in 4 minutes. So the question is, do they, you know, add another tornado warning to this storm? But yeah, there's the rotation right there. Pretty tight rotation, I would say. That is a pretty tight rotation right there. And that is continuing to move off to the northeast as well. So we're continuing to watch this storm, and right there, yep, as I said, we're going to be seeing a brand new tornado warning here, and it's still observed, so it is still on the ground currently right now, still an observed tornado on the ground. And you can tell kind of, I mean, the correlation coefficient isn't as strong, but it is on the ground currently. Still, and that's why they issued a new tornado warning as it is observed. Doesn't seem like it's going to be in any big populated area, which is good. Next storm that will probably be issued, because there's possibly 2 tornadoes right now on the ground from this one, will be pushing up, and we'll probably have another tornado warning, probably the same area too. Probably the same area. But I want to thank everyone for watching here. I will be coming back on later if there's any major you know, really big concerns here. I just want to thank you all for watching, and I hope you guys all have a great rest of your night. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you guys did enjoy the stream, and all of that. Make sure to tune in for the videos as well on any weather updates, especially since hurricane season's getting ready to start here. But thank you so much for watching, guys, and I hope you guys all have a great rest of your night. If you do live in these severe zones, please stay safe out there. Bye-bye.